Hey everyone, this is Brian from Bearable Traders. It's Wednesday, January 20th. We've got 2 days of trading under our belt, 2 days to go this week. And we'll just start out with looking at something I was noticing today, just looking at the overall market action. Look at how bullish everything is here. New highs. There was 97% new highs and only 3.3% new lows. So almost 1,200 new highs to 41 lows. Stocks trading above the 50 and the 200. Just an amazing bullish indicators on both of those. But advanced declines were kind of a bit of an anomaly here. 2/3, 1/3 declining. So obviously not every stock is participating in this market rally. Financials are one of them, and been sort of interesting price action we'll talk about in a minute. So let's go start out by going through the some of the indexes we like to look at here. Transports, as you can see here, big reverse day after 2 down days, Friday and Tuesday, and big reverse day. We came back up, closed pretty close, almost right at previous high, all-time high on the transports. So transports came roaring back today. The one thing I noticed here was the volume was pretty light. If you take a look at the volume, pretty light here. So on a daily, you're almost breaking out. I'd like to see more volume confirmation, maybe more institutions participating, which clearly I don't think they were. And so you can see here RSI turning up. So we may grind higher. Pain trade may still be higher here. The 10-year on the treasuries, I think it dipped today. It doesn't maybe reflect that in the this chart right now. So let's just skip over. We'll hit the TLT in a minute, which is the bond prices. And you can see here Dow closing at a all-time high, up 0.83%, 257 points. Nice strong day today. Volume, average. And you can see here stochastics still really strong. RSI turning back up. So trend is your friend. Looking like we're heading higher. IWM's had some interesting price action the last 3 days. You can see here really lots of indecision candles on last 3 days. Here's a call it star spinning top, whatever you want to call it, hangman, and another spinning top today. So of all the indexes that weren't doing that well today, I would say the small caps underperformed, but we did manage to eke out a gain today, even though we were well off the highs, but also well off the lows. So kind of interesting. I thought the small caps might be leading us here, but that was not the case. Volume, average again, not a standout volume. The Q is definitely breaking to a new high. This was where a lot of the money was flowing today, and again, volume average, RSI heading higher. So we may have popped up here. Maybe we'll get a little back and fill. And then maybe even head higher. So you can see here stochastics turning back up again. Again, trend is your friend, looking like we're going higher. Pain trade is to the upside. The SPYs, again, same sort of story as the Qs. Everything looking good. Volume average. Stochastic strong. MACD looks like it's turning up. And again, pretty close to the high of the day here. So again, trend is your friend. Higher we go. The dollar kind of churning along here, not really doing much. Down on the day, started up higher and then it ended up down on the day. We are strengthening here. RSI is right at 50. So we'll see where we break out of this. Maybe it's a little bit of a pennant forming there. It'll affect what the emerging market stocks do and the materials. VIX, we're right down at, with a strong day today, we're right down at this. You can see support all the way back from here, here. So we're right back down at support on the VIX. Again, this is a price action you'd expect on a strong day. Looking weak. Fear index kind of coming out of the market. So here's the TLT. And you can see here where bond prices were up on the day. That means yields were down a bit. It's probably it could be one of the reasons why the banks did not perform that well today and haven't been in the last little while. So you can see here, we're starting to get a turn up here in the stochastics. MACD looks like it's going to cross. So maybe yields are going to start to weaken again here as the bond prices start to rise. So again, as bond prices rise, financials don't tend to do as well. So that's the implication on that. Let's take a look at the actives. DBA has been in this for quite a while, still in it. It's doing a little bit of a pullback here, and light volume today. So I expect we're still in an uptrend. As long as this 20 moving average holds, I'm still in this. Emerging markets, again, weakening dollar. Popped up again today. A lot of this is China, and the Chinese stocks were on fire today. So even though I didn't have any Chinese stocks per se in my portfolio, I still have this, which has got me covered on the on that sector. Facebook, yesterday mentioned this. It looked strong right at the open, and it was strong all day. It took some 260 calls, and they went firmly in the money by the end of the day, and then they popped up here, got a really nice return on them, and they were end of week calls. So tripled my money on that, and mentioned that in the room as we were going out the end of the day yesterday. iPod still hanging on to this one. These iPod, iPof, and then iPod E, I should say E like Echo. It's these SPACs. I expect will have something happen here when one of them brings a company, does a reverse takeover on a private company. KRE, I just got out of this actually. Had a nice run up, and I'm out of it now. LAC, they announced a public offering, so I did took along here, announced it in the room, and so I'm holding on to this. It's kind of pulled back to this area where I found where it kind of broke out from, so I'm holding on to it. This is Lithium America. Again, here you can see we started to turn, and I bought it, sold it when it popped up, sold half the position, and then bought back here, and now I'm just holding it, holding the position. And the Vietnam trade, it's really pulled back a lot here. Not that much on a percentage basis, I guess a bit, but still in that one, it's still holding the 20. And Zoom, I mentioned here, I did sell some calls. I sold some naked calls at 400. I'm still in half of those. I did take some money off the table because it is a little bit of a risky trade, and didn't want to encourage anybody to do that. But I know some people took that Facebook trade calls with me, and hopefully cashed out of some of them today, and maybe holding some more for tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Quickly, I just wanted to note something here. We've gone through, we're starting earnings season, and I'm just noting every financial that's reported right now has not reacted very favorably to their earnings reports. So here you can see Friday, Bank of America came out, sold, gap down, sold off, and has been weak. Let's just take a look at all the other ones. Citigroup, same thing, sold off, showing weakness. Goldman Sachs, same thing. You can go just about through all of these. JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and US Bank Corp, I believe this morning. All of them horrible, trading horribly on earnings, even though the earnings reports have not been that bad. Wells Fargo from Friday again, gap down. One of our day traders took this trade here. Peter, that was a great rising devil trade for him. Yeah, but bottom line is all these financials are really trading poorly after earnings, and so we're just getting into earnings season now. We had Netflix this morning that turned out actually to be quite good, but we'll keep an eye on things and see if we're getting sort of the similar reactions on a lot of the earnings as they're starting to come out, or if it's just a bank and financials thing. The candles at a glance quickly here. We already talked about SPY. You can see discretionary breaking out. People have lots of money, I guess, and they're wanting to spend it. Communication and technology, obviously, technology was a big leader with the Qs today, and all the other indexes didn't really do much. The industrials, the materials, all sort of a lot of hollow fill candles here. Staples sold off and came back a little bit at the end of the day there. Healthcare making a new high. Financials, energy not kind of stumbling here, and again financials, as I already talked about, selling off a little bit there. Real estate actually did pretty good, breaking out. Of course, they're going to do well when interest rate environment starts to the interest rates start to drop. So quickly on watch tonight, I'm still watching GME. It seems to be one of these plays where they're trying to short squeeze everybody. So it's gotten a little choppy here. So we're just still keeping an eye on it. I don't know that it has a lot of upside, and I know there are shares for short now. So keeping an eye on that for it to break one way or another. Citron's going to come out with their report apparently tomorrow. They held off today because of the inauguration. iPod, just keeping an eye on this, and you could play iPof with an F, or iPo with an E. Here's iPof. Neo, I'm watching a lot of these EV plays. We're definitely getting some consolidation here. It looks like a bit of a pennant forming. You can see the line here coming up, and then a line coming down here. So we're narrowing into a trading range. We'll see which way it breaks. But you can see we're still holding the 20. So theoretically, it is still in an uptrend. Yes, moving average is sloping up. Volume dropping off, which is typically what you might see possibly before a move one way or another. Stochastics are weakening, and MACD looks like it's ready to cross, so we may end up breaking trend here. But keeping an eye on that. NMD, in nano dimension, just keeps grinding higher here. So it's not giving me a bit of a pullback to get in. I'm just watching QS. I'm watching for a possible short, just like Zoom Communications, as I mentioned on the weekend. You can see here this has lost a moving average. Here's a 48.80 level that it failed to hold today. Low was 47.26. So it looks like we're heading down. We'll see if we hold support here or not. I'll be keeping that line on my chart tomorrow when the market's open. Silver, I took along. I didn't mention this but I did take along on PAAS. Silver had a great day today. Looks like we put in a double bottom here. So I didn't mention this in the actives. Forgot to put it in there. Let's just take a look at what I got back into PAAS. Had a really nice day today. Got in sort of halfway through the day, so I'm in around 31. I think we may end up. We'll see if we get a big gap up tomorrow. If we get a bit of a gap up, pullback, but I'll be looking for it to hold this level, and maybe we start to move. Finally found a bottom here because we were kind of into an area where to expect some support, and you can see here volume building nicely today on this. Stochastics turning up, RSI turning up, so. We'll be looking for this to start to build some momentum here and maybe add to it as we start to, maybe we'll get a move like this, start to go higher. So that's it, everybody. Oh yeah, earnings. We did have UAL tonight. United Airlines, they've reported they're down after reporting, and the aftermarket. And you can see here in the aftermarket on Thursday, we're going to have Intel, IBM, Intuitive Surgical, kind of the most interesting ones. CSX, rail company reporting. Seagate might be interesting. So we'll see how those earnings play out. And as I always like to mention at the end of each video, here's my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade, if you haven't checked it out. And of course, also, I always mention that we will be opening up a YouTube live at 8:30 in the morning. Norm and Carlos will be taking you through the pre-market show and looking for stocks in play. And then we will be trading the market open at 9:30. So hope to see you all there, and have a great rest of the night, everybody. Bye for now.